Hey everyone, guess what? I got a video game. I'm really excited to play this. And I want to share it with you guys, especially since we just passed 50 subscribers. That makes me feel really good. Thank you so much. This Saturday at 11:30 Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to be playing this game. I'm going to be responding to comments from past videos from the Randy 000 game video I did, all the way to the Joker video that I did last week. And it'll be fun, and I'm excited to share this with you, so why don't you come join me? Remember, Saturday, 11:30 Mountain Standard Time, I'll be live streaming this. Let's get on with the video. So, every year, on the first Saturday in May, is Free Comic Book Day. And it is great, and I love it, and it's a tradition that I try to participate in every year. And sometimes it falls on my birthday, and that's always a fun time. But a lot of people don't realize this, that there is a second Free Comic Book Day. It's run by the same organization, but this one is Halloween based, and this year it falls on October 26th. Halloween ComicFest is similar to Free Comic Book Day in that comic shops usually treat it the same way. They usually have the same kind of sales, but there are a couple of differences. The first one being that usually the books take on more of a Halloween kind of theme, and the second thing are the mini comics. Mini comics come in a pack of about 25. You pay however much money it costs for them, and then you're supposed to give out those comics on Halloween to trick-or-treaters, which is an idea I love. That means that more kids are going to get more comics, and I love that plan. And it's something really cool and special is that my community decided that they were going to hold Halloween Comic Fest early, so this is one of the few times where I'm going to be able to show you guys a bunch of comic books before they're officially released. So this is going to be great. I'm so excited about this. So without further ado, let's go over the offerings this year. I'll let you know from my past experience or from actual experience if the story is a full story, if it's a first chapter, or if it's a sampler of a much bigger story. Also, traditionally, it's worth noting that Halloween Comic Fest will often be an opportunity for comic shops to get rid of their leftover Free Comic Book Day stuff from May. So I'm going to go ahead and link that video up here across the top so you can see what those other books were like. Alright, let's hop to it. First up, we have The Adventures of Cthulhu Jr. and Dastardly Dirk, a fun monster book for kids, likely a first chapter / maybe a full story. Aspen Mascots is an interactive activity book, which is a fun concept for kids, and it's likely a full story. Wakamonogatari is based on the Monogatari series of novels and comes with a collectible art card, and it's likely just a sampler. Battle Cats! I got this one. I got Battle Cats. Where did it go? Here it is. I mean, it's fine. It's like a Thundercats ripoff. More violent? I don't know. I don't like it that much. But Battle Cats, it's here. It's a first chapter. If you can go without a book, don't pick up this one. Dark Red, that's a fun concept, but it's for mature readers, and it's likely a first chapter, and I didn't pick this one up. Deceased, hey, I have this one. It's right. Where did it go? Right here. Deceased. I got it. So it's the first chapter of a much bigger story, but it was a good teaser. It got me interested. Let me tell you. So pretty much the premise of it is that. Okay. So pretty much the premise of this one is that a virus has entered into social media and the internet, and it's been turning anyone who's looked at anything on social media into zombies. I wonder if they're trying to like say something. But the art is neat. And I mean, by the end of this chapter at least, Superman is okay, which makes me feel good. Doodleville Aster and Accidental Magic gets a promotion for next year's books, sampler of several stories. Ghost Rider, likely a first chapter. House of Fear, a safe Halloween book, likely a complete story. Iron Man Road to 2020. Guys, this is cool. Alright. Iron Man Road to 2020. Alright, so usually when Marvel or DC publishes a book for Free Comic Book Day or Halloween Comic Fest, it's usually just like a first chapter. This was a complete story. This was cool. And it was a fun time. It was a fun read. So pretty much what happens is there's this older scientist that has been stuck in Tony Stark's shadow for ever. But Tony Stark hired him, and we kind of see Stark Industries through this guy's eyes. And oh, this was a fun book. So I didn't think I would ever say this about a Marvel offering for Free Comic Book Day, but you should pick this one up. Yanu, Child of Wonder, is likely a first chapter. Junior High Horrors. I got this one. And so it's dyslexia friendly, which is neat, and I kind of wish that more comics would try to be that way, especially digital comics, where you can get away with it better. You can just have a toggle to make books dyslexia friendly, and that's fine, but I don't dig the art. It looks very icon-y, like somebody went into Illustrator or something, and that's how they made this. Whatever. It's just kind of plain. It's not my favorite. Lady Mechanica, a first chapter of a Halloween special. Miles Morales Spider-Man. I got it. And I mean, it's just like a reprint of Miles' first appearance in Ultimate Spider-Man, so I mean, maybe just find the actual full book. But I mean, if you're new to Miles Morales and you just want a sampler or a taste, then maybe? I don't know, I'm going to give this a maybe. The Secret Spiral of Swamp Kid. It's one of DC Kid's previews, likely a first chapter. Sonic the Hedgehog. So, for those of you who aren't in the know, Sonic the Hedgehog has done better in comics than I say he's done in video games, or at least he's been more consistent in it. And this book was fun. It's like the characters look really good. There's no ads in the middle of the book, which is nice. It's well laid out. IDW just does really good stuff with comic books. So I do like video games, and I do like Sonic the Hedgehog, so I would say this is worth picking up. If you want more of an idea of what this book is like, think of it as like The Flash, but for kids. That's a good way to describe it. I was impressed with this book. I mean, and the last few offerings for Free Comic Book Day and Halloween Comic Fest from Star Wars have been kind of lackluster, especially back from the Dark Horse times. I got this book. It was the last copy they had, and it's from 2002, and I'm so happy it exists, and I got it. Anyway, Boba Fett. It's a full story, and it is awesome. There's like explosions, and Boba Fett doing cool stuff, and funky aliens, and it's awesome. Guys, this is a fun book. So far, it's like, if you can only get 2 books, get Iron Man and get this. Tales of Berseria. It's a bunch of stories based on upcoming JRPGs. It's likely just samplers. And The Drifting Classroom. It's a mature content book, likely first chapter, whatever. And those are the full-size books, but then we get into the unique part of Halloween Comic Fest, which are the pocket-sized comics. To give you an example, they're this size, so compared to a regular comic book, you can kind of see the size difference here. So let's talk about these little trick-or-treat books, and I'll let you know which ones are good, which ones are worth giving out, and which ones are kind of sort of not worth it. Let's go. Lauren Faust. Okay, guys, so first of all, we have Superhero Girls from DC Comics. Now, this might be one of those books where people will see it and be like, I don't want to read this. It's obviously for little girls, but let me tell you something. This franchise is headed by Lauren Faust. Now, those of you who recognize that name, I know you recognize that name because you watch My Little Pony. The new My Little Pony franchise is actually, it's really good. It's deep, it's emotional, it gets into characters' heads, it's a great character piece. And the same person who brought My Little Pony back from the brink and made it accessible and worthy of watching is heading up the new Superhero Girls franchise. So this is a nice little taste of what you're going to get. And honestly, it is very similar to how the characters are portrayed in like My Little Pony. For instance, Supergirl has a lot of Rainbow Dash, I've noticed in her, and I think I'm revealing a lot more of myself than I probably should be on the internet. Archie's Madhouse. So here we go. Now, this book, its interpretation of male and female relationships is very, it's very old school. So that's a problem, I think. But, I mean, I remember as a kid I would watch the Sabrina the Teenage Witch cartoon on TV, and I always liked it, and I remember watching Archie, so this was a nice little blast from the past. Yeah. Also, it's nice to see that Sabrina is coming back into the public light a little bit. It's good stuff. Blastosaurus, it's a detective dinosaur, which is a combination of two words that thoroughly are super cool next to each other. Detective and dinosaur. Dinosaurs are always cool, and detectives are always cool. Put them together and you have something that's really cool. Loud House. I got that one. So this is based off of the Nickelodeon series. And, I mean, it works well, I think, if you like the characters already. Other than that, though, it's not really saying anything. It's just here. But it's not offensive either, so take that for what it's worth. Spook House. I got Spook House, and it's really lame. This one sucks. Don't pick it up. Don't give it to kids. It's stupid. Underdog. This one was really hard to read. Oh, the whole thing just rhymes, and it's... Oh, no. No, I couldn't read it. I'm so sorry. Like, because like if we look here, like the text is really small and it's all rhyming, and there's a lot of busy things that are happening on every page. At the same time, it's not busy enough. This is another example of a book that looks like it was done in Adobe Illustrator. It's not great, which is unfortunate. Usagi Yojimbo, it's likely a sampler. And Pokemon Adventures. So, I know that I spoke out against this title in the last Free Comic Book Day video that I did, and I feel like I need to repent, because Pokemon Adventures is actually really fun. It's a more high-octane take on, I think, the Pokemon franchise, starring Red, and it follows the games, and it's really good. So honestly, what we've got here is that if you're going to pick up these small comics for kids, I'd recommend that you pick up Pokemon Adventures, Superhero Girls, and maybe Archie. Maybe Archie. I'm dropping comic books all over the place. Yeah, definitely these two, maybe Archie. Now, for me, what I was really excited about, my favorite books from this were Boba Fett, Sonic, and Iron Man. These books were actually really great, and I really enjoyed reading them, and I think you would too. So keep an eye out for those this Saturday when you head over to your local comic shop for Halloween Fest. If you don't know where your comic shop is, I'll leave a handy little link in the description that will send you to a website to where you can find that information out. And yeah, in the comments let me know what you're excited for and what you hope to be picking up. Or if you're watching this after the fact, let me know what you did pick up. And speaking of this Saturday, let me just go ahead and remind you one more time that I'm planning on doing a live stream. And it's going to be great. I'm going to play some LEGO Incredibles and I'm going to answer comments from past videos. I'm looking at the Brandy Schroker video all the way up to the Joker video I released last week. So tune in for that on Saturday at 11:30 Mountain Standard Time. And until then, and until next time, thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Remember to always be your best self.